Hello everyone, welcome to the Beginner's Guide. This is like sort of a sequel to Stanley Parable, but not really at the same time. It was just made by the creator of Stanley Parable. So, let's get started. Please make sure audio is on. It is on. Controls WSD.
Hi there. Thank you
Hello.
very much for playing The Beginner's Guide.
You're welcome.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now these games mean a lot to me.
Do you guys still
I met
talk
Coda
or?
in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff. And his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made.
Definitely
It's
looks like a
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike. Yeah,
You can walk
okay.
around here,
Yep.
by the way.
Alright.
And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment.
Well, it
What I
looks
like
good
is that
for
even though he
the
starts
basics.
From the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the
Yeah,
level.
I don't know
But of
why
course,
he
it destroys
thought
the
that.
illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's
Thought this was a good idea to add random
not that
blobs
they're
of color
all
in crates.
fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human
Games
being
are
really is.
beautiful once you look into
And
them,
that's
though.
exactly what we're going
Even
to
games like this that don't look as good.
So, it's
That are
2008,
created early
Coda
in the
starts making
2008.
these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point,
feel like
he
it
jokingly
was
renamed
kinda
his
like
computer's
practice.
recycling bin to important games folder. So, you know,
Yep,
this was
totally.
just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda.
Well, it seems interesting so
Thanks
far.
for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation
Just want to know what his
that I
thought
haven't
process
mentioned
is.
here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for
I don't think I'm going to be writing an
Let's
email
take
to
a
you
look at
anytime
Coda's
soon,
first
but
proper
if I have to tell you how good the
As
game
each
is,
game is
maybe.
loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Interesting. Well, it's a shooter game. Okay, you cannot go
This
that way.
game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Well, the gun model looks nice.
Security call reached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
Oh no. There's nothing
It
that's
kinda
coming
looks
out
like
of those
this game was
doors.
abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have
Yeah,
this
I see
gun,
that.
which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Entering.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe.
He
from this
didn't
room.
thoroughly plan out the skybox. Labyrinth, I think. Definitely looks like one.
Apparently, the space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper Machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there?
Hi.
In the engine room. You could save us all.
Me?
That beam is powering the Whisper Machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Fine, if it's gonna save the whole entire planet, well, universe, whatever, or the galaxy, I will. I'm dead.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh, I am floating into the afterlife. Right into the afterlife. Here we go.
The beam causes you to start floating. And
I'm
this is an important
ascending
moment
into another realm
because yes,
of
this
God.
is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Alright. Pass was behind her.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
That's kind of weird. But the future
it's a
cannot be
short
seen.
and relatively minimalist experiment
Why does the future
combining
keep
motion and
changing?
narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete.
When she
Coda's
stops and
trying to
looks, it
give
becomes
a unique
clearer.
voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Huh. But the future is always behind her. How will she find the strength? Through a door. Do you confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
You're now entering. Entering what? His mind. Maybe.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Alright. Nonsense
Oftentimes, Coda would
nearly
put
every
bizarre
direction.
titles like this one at the start of his games.
Huge
I
set of
wish I'd known him at the
stairs.
time that he was
Staircase.
making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it.
Staircases kind
Once
of
he
give me
stopped work on a game,
bad
like,
thoughts.
that was it. It was dead
Like,
to him.
not like suicide.
And I don't
Okay,
agree
I'm not gonna
with
have to go
that
into
at all,
that
but
topic, but I
what
meant
are
like,
you gonna do?
like for example, when I was back in my freshman year of high school, I'm in my sophomore now.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Alright. Enter. Oh, this is much nicer. But yeah. Staircase gives me memories of when I kind of tripped on the staircase with my feet and kind of face planted, almost broke my arm. Well, not face planted, but almost face planted. But not a fun day. Not a fun day. Not a fun day. So these are ideas. You are a gate. Series of lavish manuals come with the game, giving you incorrect instructions on how to play.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas.
This
for
room is
games.
actually kind of cozy. If this room was real, I would
Coda
totally
often tell me
crash
that
in
he
here.
didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Just like the slow climb, yeah, getting to where you need to be. For example, for those who are starting out on YouTube, like example me, is a slow climb. You have to work hard. Gotta take advice. Gotta be inspired. Already said fish. Alright, what's the point of this? A door.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Alright. Alright, let's solve it. I think, alright. Well, there's nothing in here, so we gotta close the door. And do this, so it
Don't
activates
forget
the
that
other.
solution,
Okay,
because
I
we're
am a
going to see
genius,
this
guys.
puzzle
I
very
am
soon.
a genius.
We're gonna see it a lot.
Total genius. Beat the puzzle. Ooh. There is nothing.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Alright. Press and enter in 3, 2, 1. What? Whoa. That's crazy. This is crazy.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior, and then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
I don't know. Good question. You're now exiting.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
The Great and Lovely Descent. Big white room.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Alright.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Nothing. Alright.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source.
The Streetwise Fool.
Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does
Hey,
very
there's the bathroom
well
in here.
is
No.
boxy linear corridors.
JK.
That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in
If
Coda's
we
games
just-
to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
I mean, they do look good though, I'm not gonna lie. What if we just... Oh, okay, never mind. Wee. Those noises kind of freaking me out, man. Please, I don't want to go in there, man. Oh? Why am I going in here? I don't want to go in here. Oh, fine. If I have to, I'll be locked up.
Funny enough, in
Just be
Coda's
set in the
original
corner.
design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Don't want to wait a full hour.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible?
Yeah, exactly.
And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else.
Then what?
Believe me, I played every single one of those.
Then what was
just
the
to
point
find
of
out if there was,
playing
like,
it,
a
though?
Gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
That's just kind of rude, though, to send somebody 100 games of just nothing but white space.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Exactly.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise
Outside
I'll
is
share
beautiful.
with you my interpretation very shortly.
I like the lighting, it's nice. Hello. You there, did you come from up
Here,
above?
Coda
What
begins
was up
using
there?
A kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities.
Yes,
Use the
there was a
1, 2,
world
3
stamped with
buttons on your
whiteness.
keyboard to respond.
That's the world above, you've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. No, I don't remember having to go through any puzzle. I'd prefer not to tell you after all. We've just only met. We've only just met. What? But you don't understand. We are trapped here. The puzzle is our only escape. We need to get through it. You think you want to get through it, but trust me, you don't. Let me describe it for you. Let me tell you all about what is over there. Alright, I will tell you how to solve it. Number 2. No, that isn't possibly enough. I need to actually be there. I cannot simply be told what it is. I must see myself. I must escape this prison. There must be an ending. Maybe there is an ending. Who knows? Just gotta see for yourself. Hello, how'd you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes, you want to know how to solve it. No, we actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Why would I care about the space between the doors? Actually, now that you mention it, I remember feeling strange as I passed through it. I don't recall a space between the doors. Number 2. Don't think too hard about it. You'll see it again soon. Alright. The walls, the textures, and the bumpiness look cool.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Darkness. Lamppost.
It's a lamppost.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
Connecting everything
We're
together,
gonna
maybe?
see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Really? I'm probably not gonna get it because my brain's not that good at comprehending. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Okay, so it's connected to the internet, apparently. Nice room, not.
So first off, I'm sure you can.
How do you
notice
beat this
but
game?
This game is not connected to
No
the
point to
internet.
this.
All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually
Then what was the
first
point of
game
tell-
his
that's
that I ever
misleading
played.
information
This
then.
was shortly after I met him
Whoa.
at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I
Can you guys hear me?
I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so
Hello.
different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was
Reasonable.
like, I have to be friends with this person.
Everyone read this.
In retrospect, I think I was probably
Hey.
a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention.
This place makes me
and
sad. Well, I'm sorry.
I was over enthusiastic.
I want
He
to tell
was
you a
very
secret. Once
gracious
upon
about it
I
and
did.
very patient with me,
Define fun.
and I cooled off eventually.
Balls.
Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you.
How
Nothing
is
extra's
there
gonna
wood and
happen
grass
if you read all
and
of them.
concrete here?
Either way,
Game
to
logic.
me they convey a sense of loneliness.
Brr,
I
this
see
is
this
no
person
bracket
who's
bracket.
filled with
Left bracket, left
thoughts
bracket,
and
right bracket,
feelings
right bracket,
and
right bracket,
beliefs,
right bracket.
and has no way to express
Quotation
them
marks, box,
except
box.
as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to
I
be
just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it's the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That
I
in
never
playing
want to see
this
you
game and
nothing.
seeing how alone Coda often
If nothing
felt,
will ever be that
that
beautiful
we
again,
get
I'm
to know
crying
him
now.
and
Learning
actually
and I'm
kinda connect
ripping
with
my eyes out. I must
And I
not
have to
do
be
that.
honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I
Do
could just
not be afraid, do care.
play someone's game and see
This
the
game
voices
is no
in their
nice, I
head
like it
and
when I
get to
could.
know them better and have to do
Do you
less
feel
of
like a
the
hero yet?
messy in-person
In a world full of
socializing.
notes, one man would read them all
I
this
could
summer.
just
You'll
get to know you through
believe
your
blue
work.
speech bubbles can talk.
I think this is why I always liked Coda's games
Cool
so
cavern,
much,
bro.
is because it felt like they let me have that connection.
Running out of space
I
soon,
felt
we
as
will
though
suffocate.
He was inviting me personally.
There are too many
into his
messages in
world.
this area. Why?
And then I feel less lonely.
Hey, I
too.
can type here. I'd rather be doing literally anything other than playing this. The guy over there wrote much wrong. Alright. Is there a way to get over to those messages? What is this cavern? Boring. I can assure you, guaranteed, there's an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. I refuse to believe. Believe what? But, okay. I need to go to the bathroom. Alright. Recognize me, please. There's nothing to hear. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. Fine. Rude. A free t-shirt. Need other side. Door, why you so? Makes game, includes door, cannot open door. Thanks. Open sesame. Door how open? Someday I will meet the person who made this. You're not supposed to open the door. Come this way. Come this way, Bubbles. Come on. I hope people of the internal good feeling I get. New room. Do you hear the chimes? They keep going, don't they? I would like very much to be desired. It's not very crowded here. Scared of writing something, don't want to feel judged. A game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. Don't bother. You can go in here, I think. Welcome, congratulations. I don't really know where to go with this. This is where I get off. I fail to write anything here. I am compelled. Stop, turn back, proceeding further will only result in misery. No. Take my hand, let's jump together. I don't think so. Cabbage shapes our nation. What is that painting? It does not matter if you ever get over there. Hey, don't talk about me that way. Very good game. I think this is not going anywhere. Alright. Next time I will do better. I need someone to talk to. Talk to me, buddy. You can talk to me. Even though you're just a speech bubble. Chat bubble. And this is a note. This is a note. Yes. Don't listen to the other notes. Why? I'm not safe. Well, I'm sorry to hear. Today I learned you cannot fall off. Okay, you cannot. Ethical. I saw a person walking down there and now it won't come back. Oh. Devil Tower Star. It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. Who are all of you? Whoever made this has issues. Painting, what does it mean? Stop faking it. No. Well done, all of you. Art. Hey guys, how's it going? Just hanging. Help, I'm trying to speak. I think it's about how things look messy from up close and perfect from far away. From up here, it just looks like dots. Yeah, basically. Cabbage shapes our nation. We will all die someday. Spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. Stop pretending you are other people. Devil Tower Star. He was himself, the most horrible creature you can imagine. Why you gotta be negative, man? Maybe I'll feel real someday. You are real. Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. More room?
At the end of this level, we're going to see
Scared
the
of
puzzle.
writing something, don't want to feel
Here,
judged.
I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games
Escape,
represents
escape,
something
need an
that was
escape.
on Coda's mind at the
You
time
cut
that he was
it up
working.
and spread it between worlds.
And the puzzle is a way of closing
Almost
the door
there.
on a previous
I've
chapter
seen
of
everything.
his
I've
life
traveled the world. I've
before
never
moving
told
on to the
anyone.
next one.
I wish there were notes in the real world. Become one with the spiraling nonsense. Downward, keep digging.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult,
You close your eyes and
Coda
wish
can
for
then
it
place
really
this
bad.
puzzle
No,
that
don't be
he
that
knows has
way.
a reliable solution. He understands
at the end.
exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Huh. Does this puzzle have a solution? Oh my god, I've been here for literally an hour. What do I do? Help. Help. This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open. How do you solve it? Developer answers, please.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, Before you
Oh,
move
no
on,
answer, I
you
think.
get to pause.
I'm heading back to start later, guys.
Just for a moment.
Guys, it's not so bad here.
A few
No
seconds
solution.
To reflect on
There's no
and
second
let
switch.
go of the events that led you here. To step
Yet
back
you all
and
know.
connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
How do you leave notes? You just left one, man. Typing out ideas, I see. Are you there? Please say something. Can be anything, I just need to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak, 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 speak. I will not speak, I refuse.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
So we're in a jail cell type room. Going down, going down. This is... I like the design. It's neat. No.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly
ridiculous.
interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Nothing, just black lines. What furniture article in the center of the room? How about a giant hole in the ground? That's not a hole! Come on, listen to me. Okay, now what about along the wall of the room? Let's put a huge picture of a horse. No, not sofas. I think we should light up this room a bit. I'm thinking a 10 by 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED ceiling, lights with fluorescent trim. A skylight full ceiling window. Let's open this baby up. We'll put live Tesla coils in each corner. That doesn't seem safe. Number 2, LEDs. That's a lamp. And a table. You need a table. Where exactly are you doing this from? I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making a difference. Tables were invented in 1935. The room is expanding.
There's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Games can be weird, yes. Weird games are a thing.
So okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Following instructions carefully, take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. Alright. Good, go over to photo frame and click it to turn it slightly. Now, turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go left side sofa and move it over a little. Finally, touch the shelves. That's it, in the real prison. The escape will now open. Return to the start, taken back to your prison. Alright. Giant return platform.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
What?
Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I can be working? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going,
This is interesting.
going, and going, and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Alright. This is just weird. Random telephone box. Alright. Hello. Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from the... after you escaped the prison. You're me. ... So you're trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation.
Yep, I was in the furniture maze.
And so this is what Coda wants.
That's where I
is
am
to
right
be able
now.
to talk to someone, to share
Well, I'm
what's
so
on his
glad
mind,
to know that
and to
I get
some
out
good
eventually.
advice from someone
What's it
who
like to
knows.
escape?
But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking
I'm already
to someone.
forgetting what being in
You
prison
know,
was like. It's
all
kind
of
of strange,
the
but a
games
way
so
I can this
far
being in
are
prison
Coda
feels
talking to
completely
himself.
still and wildly in motion at the same time. I'm actually forgetting what being in the prison was like. Really? How long has it been since you got out? Years. Like, I've been standing right here, working up the nerve to call you. Only a few minutes, but somehow it's already fuzzy, kind of like it never happened. But this is the worst, most desperate thing I've ever been through. How would you possibly forget it? Haha, I promise it's not as bad as you right now as you think it is. You don't ever forget it. You just stop identifying it. As it anything you can seem infinite when you're drenched in it. Number 2. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Yes, I did get a call. That's how I escaped. No. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? You have to be sincere. To get out, you need to tell me how you feel right now. To get out, just talk to me for a bit. Number 1. What? That will free me. How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Just be sincere, it will make sense. Sincere about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games.
Yeah.
After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, it would. It would. August 2009.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Alright.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
That's a nice house. Oh my goodness, I'm glad as heck that you showed up. I thought I might having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands to make us lousy homes. Don't worry about me, a place this
You'll
nice, I
notice
would
that the quality
be
of the
glad
art
to
is
stay
a
here
step
all
up
night.
from previous games,
And lousy homes
including
make
this
little
new and
homeowners
improved
are
chat
reclaiming this whole
system,
place.
which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much
Well, you
more
know,
effort
you must be
into
getting a
the
little ahead of
visual
yourself
polish
now.
of his work.
Why don't we start
And this
cleaning, then you
particular
decide whether
game
you can
took
do it
2
all night.
months to
I'll
create
finish
and
up here, in the meantime, could you please clear the table? Much nicer, that's the table I want to see. Now will you please in the bedroom make the bed? Yep. Straighten out the rug. Then. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? How'd you end up doing this job? Friend drove me here along at a time when I was particularly desperate for cash. Turns out I've never felt so good doing something for money in my whole life. Never did like cleaning my own home. Might have gotten some demons, ain't ready to face it. Speaking of demons, someone's put this couch in a mess. Would you come out and straighten these pillows here? Sure thing. Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over my couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over here. Looks like ink. Feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Yeah, make it cheesy. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. No. It was stupid, sorry. Never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed, why don't you come do that? Done. Last I checked, the tub needed cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best you can? You need perfect, we're just all human. Are there still books scattered on the floor in the bedroom? If so, would you put that like, on the shelf? Yep. Perfect. Alright. Let me guess, it's just gonna be repeated.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing.
It's gonna be so difficult
It's
how
the
to do it.
moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Darling, I'm gonna tell you something, your house is only difficult as you clean you are. If you're finding the work hard, maybe you have a bit of housekeeping to do before you come to work. Ha! And here I go with another lecture. Of course I would. Don't worry about all that nonsense. For now, just smooth out the rug in the bedroom.
He called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Earlier when I said a really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that there's one house is like one soul. You take care of it and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. Yeah, you're right. That's pretty cheesy, but there's a bit of truth in it, no? Dot dot dot. Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you clean up the books? Thanks. Yes. Alright.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question. Do you enjoy this?
Of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Alright.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move.
Yeah.
I really thought that was the point of it.
Items you love at
This
members
one gets
only
a bit
prices.
confusing.
Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person's a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about the way in your own life? Who do you know is so well developed as a person that make you feel disgusted with yourself? Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful, and intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. The question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is easy. This is so easy. It It's so easy.
About halfway through the game,
Being
you
perfect
expect
is
a chance.
effortless. Oh. This is key. How do I achieve an effort on the way to work? I told an elderly person to start
And you play
contributing
as
to
the teacher.
society.
And
You
suddenly,
should not
you
follow
discover
their
that your
dreams.
teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Well, let me tell you right now, if it is effortless, then it's not the right answer. I still love you, it's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Seek out the only one thing, what is the easiest, simplest path forward. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Seek out. Okay. You know. Oh no, gross. Haha, just kidding. You want. There's no truth, there is no path. What if I'm not a good teacher? Do what is easiest, do what is simplest, feel what is true. Holy, you guys. Something in the back is coming out of the room, look out. He's coming to destroy you. Everyone run, run! Nothing, no one.
I fell pretty hard for this one.
Perfection.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Yep. January 2010.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this. And it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
That kind of scared me, not gonna lie. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you'll be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start leaning against this wall. Alright. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from it, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Where's the bathroom? What are you doing? You're deflecting. You're not saying what's actually on your mind. Stop dancing around and have a conversation with this person. Do it again. I'm super scared right now. I like you. Here on my hopes and dreams. I like you. No. This is not what I said to her at all. You were completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted, and I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Wee. Ah. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I bet you plan to learn and lean into pain. What are some sacrifices you had to make? Number 1. You're messing it all again. You'll freak it out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this is for me? I'll never get an opportunity like this. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Alright. Oh! Why are you locking me away, man? Okay, yes, now this is working. This is what I like.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself.
That's crazy.
And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And
What
that
was his
wasn't what I
thought
wanted
process?
for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer.
Blackness.
But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
The Mobius trip to play this game, you need to keep your eyes closed, click to begin the game. I'm keeping them open anyways. Help, I'm blind. Please someone talk to me. What's this guy doing? He only speaks something else. I can't keep making these. Oh. Yes, that's the truth. Oh yeah, be harsh on yourself. I'm feeling more mad at Diaz is training
Like
me.
I said, I was
Go
getting
anymore.
concerned. First off, he's never
Keep
been
going,
this
keep talking.
explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So, where's that
I
coming from?
haven't been honest. I can't
But
figure it.
then even
that was-
weirder,
that was
his
gonna be
work has
easy.
potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like
You're
he's
doing
having
it, it's
trouble
working.
iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas
Hold on
anymore.
a second.
And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like,
Going
you know
to
how
the
sometimes a person will just deflect
This is
anything that
whisper.
you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
He
His
obviously
games are going to
does.
get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Hello. What sound come from? How do I get out here? Hello, is anyone there? Is that person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. ... What's wrong? You look lost. I'm completely out of ideas. Oh no. What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me and to start it again. Number 1. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. What? You have to take me to it. I need to see it and to know why it stopped. You have to take me to it.
If
I
the
can do
last
that,
game
but there's a
featured
problem.
Coda
It's guarded by a
talking
difficult
explicitly
puzzle.
about his creative
To get me to solve the
frustrations,
puzzle, we'll find the machine.
This one turns it up
Deal?
to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a
Deal.
friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even.
Oh, I
And
understand what
still,
anxiety
he
and
keeps
depression is,
making
man.
games.
Been through it
Keeps
too.
Throwing himself into the
Not
grinder
alone.
even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Here's the puzzle.
Because from
What do
my
you think?
perspective at the time and just what I knew of
Hey, I
him,
recognize this.
this was a result of how isolated he was.
Oh, wonderful.
He was in his own little bubble.
Tell me how to do
just
it.
sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games
First,
to
you have to
anyone,
open the door.
not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside
I
of
have to
himself
close the
to
first
connect
door.
with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Alright, what's next? I would press the switch here. There we go. God, that was so simple.
You can't
Can't believe I
talk
never saw this
yourself
before
out
this.
of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no
I
movement.
already read this stuff.
Then there's no
What are you
circulation.
talking about? There's no machine.
If all
here.
of your
It's just
anxieties
somewhere
are
in the
being
walls.
channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no
Trust me, you'll
backup
see.
and you're just going to crash.
To say that your work is fucking easy. You have to say that development is simple and joyous. You'll 100% of the time. Sure. Sure, making games is easy. That's kind of violent. Why is somebody crying? Ah, that feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Why did the walls just crumble? Why, it feels so awful when I said that. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. When I make games, I feel completely energized. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. It is easy, it never stops being easy. Number 2. Yes, that's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made
Every time I make something about feel better about myself, just never stop creating, you'll never feel bad. It's a simple solution.
I hated seeing him so proud. It's like video games are not worth
Perfect, that
this
feels
amount of
fantastic.
suffering.
None of this is helping, I'm going to vomit.
This is
Please,
someone I
where's the
really cared
machine?
about. And
I'm
I
going
used
to
get
vomit.
so much joy out of seeing him create.
Patience,
For
you
him
have
to
to trust
suddenly
me.
become angry and
Promise this will
frustrated
work.
like this, it was the
Please
worst
continue.
thing for me.
Sorry, man, that you became frustrated and stuff. Pain breezes effortlessly off me, and your sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time, and it always pays off eventually. Yes, more. Keep going.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time.
There's no shame, no fear,
I don't
no
know how else to
guilt.
explain
I'll
it.
be saved by my work. I believe
I wanted it to
unquestioningly
stop
I'm a
more
vessel
than
for
anything.
certainty.
I had never felt so rotten.
Number 1.
I needed more than I had ever
Incredible.
needed
That's it.
anything for this to
I'm
stop.
free. I'm free.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
What is that? What's that game? Guess we have to see. The Machine. Why can't I move? Hold on, guys. Alright, we're back, guys. I had to just restart the game. That's kind of weird. Guard. Ma'am, glad to see you arrived safely. If you catch your machine, it's waiting for you now. Begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so you might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing. You should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Look at the same machine, ma'am. What do you do with it? What can you tell us? Do you know where the poisonous games have come from? Hello, Coda.
And of course, it's the machine.
Why are you groaning? You stopped. You stopped feeding us, your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us healthy. Keeping us alive. Those people out there, can you imagine what pain you put them through? It was only because of your creations any of us could make it through every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? So here's what needs to happen. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. You have to admit to the people you allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone. Apologize. No, nothing. Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I've seen the thing you fear. Alright then, I will speak to them for you. Let's speak. Hello, press, hello. My friends. It falls on me to deliver bad news. I have trouble with revelation. It falls on me to deliver bad news. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it will deliberately hurt us. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a life without it. We do not need its games. Number 1. Let's play it. Pay it retribution. Let us not show that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. Follow me, we will destroy the machine has created. Back here. We are destroying the creations. Go down, make sure your work dies here. Go down, make sure you have no forever. I'll make sure your work dies here. Isn't that what you're scared of, having to live without your precious creations having to deal with yourself?
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Does that just don't matter if we just like walk over it? Oh Jesus! Whoa! What
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater,
We're
the
just
notes,
falling
the
into
house
the
cleaning
door.
game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions, and the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
It's kind of weird. The machine. Put down your weapon. No. Kill the machine.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do?
Yes.
Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with
Yes,
the thing
that's
that I
always
make,
a good
and they
thing to
see
hear from
themselves
somebody,
purely
honestly.
in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something. I really felt like I'd done something good. Like I was a good person. I felt like there
You
was
are.
a
You
friend
seem
who
like
was in
one.
trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
Beautifully happy.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So
Sound a bit
this is
exasperating.
June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made.
Oh.
So let's take a look.
I wonder what happened to him in life. The tower.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world.
Doesn't feel
It's a
right.
very cold game.
Yeah, that's what you'd say, too. It's not warm or anything in the worm. It does feel cold.
This room actually has a maze in it. Except that
Alright,
all
then.
the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable.
It
The
is.
game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Thank you. Why would you make a game that's designed for the player, like, to be able not to play it?
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code.
Okay.
Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me because
not
it's the
gonna guess
opposite
it.
of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
151617. Done. Alright. Time to jump down. Door.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door.
What? That's
meaning that it's
ridiculous.
literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first two challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess. when
You're
I
not a
can't
failure, man.
fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Alright.
Was I a failure
No.
for not understanding this game?
You're not a failure.
I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
You have not failed.
I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew. It wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you tell him, man?
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
Trust me, you have not failed,
I
man.
screw up?
Keep doing what you do. Dear Davy, thank you for your interest in my games.
I'm the
I
reason
need you
that
to
we
ask
stopped making games,
you not
aren't
speak
I?
to me anymore.
It's because of what I did.
What'd you do?
I poisoned it for you.
What? No, come on.
I don't think I
There are
ever told you
times
this,
whether you think I am
but
making
when
these
I
games
took your
for you.
work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
You are important. You've so infected my personal space that
And
it's possible I
the people who played
did
them,
begin to plant solutions
they
in my work
treated me
somewhere
like
hidden
I was
between
important.
games.
They really listened and cared about what I had
There's an
to
answer
say.
I'm needing. Would it make you any
Even
happier?
though I was showing your work, it
Would you
was...
stop taking my games and
I
showing it to
felt
people
good
against my
about
wishes?
myself.
Give them
Finally,
something that is
for
not
a
yours to give,
moment,
violating the
while I
one
had that,
boundary
I
that keeps me
liked
safe.
myself.
Would you stop changing my games and stop adding lampposts to them? So, it wasn't the creator who did it, it was the narrator, aka Davey, the one who's been talking to us the
And
whole
then
time.
you stopped, and I didn't have
Would you
anything
simply
left
let
to
them
show
be what they are?
I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all.
When I am around you, I feel physically ill.
Less than
You
nothing.
desperately need something, and I cannot give
What
it to
is
you.
that?
I literally cannot. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. Why would you make this? I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that
I'm
one day
afraid
it
that I did
clicks
something really stupid
and that
because I
you
don't
make
like
peace
myself.
with this thing you are wrestling. And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to
Stuck in
reach
this
you.
room.
I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please. I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me?
No.
Because I know that I did an awful thing,
You're
and I'm doing it
clearly
again right now.
saying
I'm
sorry.
showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an
Jeez.
addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell
Yes,
you I
you
was
can
wrong? Will that
apologize.
work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want
Is the room
whatever
shrinking?
that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing.
It
And you
is.
put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
You are going to be okay. Epilogue. I'm really worried, man.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Well, yeah, maybe. But you can't beat yourself up over it. You have to get through to him. That you just completely misunderstood him.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
But not all people will hate you. Some will forgive you. What is this place? I really hope he continues to make games, because I don't know how he's doing after this.
If I knew that
Where
my
is
life
he?
depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Huh. I don't know, man. What does come after this?
I think I need to go.
Why are you gonna go?
I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm
Yeah, try to get through him.
just...
I hope you get through to him.
Okay.
It's the sad music, seriously. Wee. Alright. I like how the room moves. That's so cool. This is kind of sad. Not because of the music of the story he told. I just want to know more if he got through to him, wherever he is in life, or if he's forgiven. The music stopped. The beam that you have to sacrifice yourself into. Well, guys, I think we step into it. What happened? Oh, we're floating. Ooh. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Huge labyrinth. This is beautiful, not gonna lie. Is this the end?
Turn back,
4 hours.
turn back from this cave. You said, let me
This project would not have been possible without the following individuals: Matthew Barrett, Ryan Roth, Helena Heron, Richard Flanagan, I can't read them all. Turn Back, written by Helena Heron, performed by Helena Heron and Ryan Roth.
and you're
Helena.
so tired.
Additional thanks, Viva Pinchas. Okay, you can pause and read this if you guys like to. This is like a movie, come on.
So turn back, turn back.
Alright guys, this will do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a very interesting game about a story between two guys, two people, main. And I hope you guys enjoyed it a lot. I will see you guys in the next video.